Hello, everyone, and welcome to T-Chat 56. Really great to be talking to you today. What a great number, 56. It's like an 11. We love 11s. I'm an 11. That is actually my birth number, I believe. Aquarius is 11. We're in a very Aquarian year, so let's talk about some Aquarian things. And let's talk about life and a lot of things. Actually, I've got a lot of things to talk to you guys about today. It feels like I haven't talked to you all in years, even though it's been a week. It feels so strange to not be doing live premieres, but I'm having a lot of really great time to sit with the energy. I always try to make a bit of time in Pisces season, and I always recommend that everybody work as little as possible during Pisces season. Because things usually come up. There's usually something that we really have to put our attention onto, especially as equinox comes near. And the astrological new year burgeons. We have usually something unexpected or something, even if it's internal, that we have to focus on. So both equinoxes actually, about 2 weeks on each side of the equinoxes. So March 21st and then also around the time of September 21st. It is usually a very spiritual time, and it requires a lot of psychic energy and a lot of emotional energy to navigate, mostly. So yeah, that's my first thing. My first recommendation for you all this week is clear your calendars as much as possible. Don't do anything in vain. Don't do anything you don't have to do, so that you have room to do what comes up for sure. There are a few things that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Mercury being totally direct. It has actually been in shadow up until now. I think March 12th, actually. Yeah, March 12th. So that's yesterday, actually. Mercury gets completely direct. And I have to say, this period of Mercury shadow, I guess from since the beginning of March, has been one of the most intense mercurial energies I've ever felt. Okay, I wasn't expecting it. We've been in all planets direct, technically, but now it's even more so now that Mercury's out of its shadow transit. There were a lot of things, I think, that came up during Mercury shadow that tested us. There's so many tests with that Mercury shadow. With the energy of Pisces as well. It was asking us, how much do we want to change our lives? How much are we willing to take with us and not? Are we truly ready to comprehend the actual scope of what we're taking on? Does it feel comfortable to reject or end certain phases? Is that what we've made it out to be? Are long-running structures or long-running presences in our life as bad as we think that they are? A really huge theme right now is not realizing what you have until it's gone, not realizing the value of your life. We see also all of ourselves in totality at this time. Totality is a big keyword. Totality, holistic, broad. The combination of Aquarius and Pisces energy does this like no other combination, where we don't care so much about the small fine-tuned details. We're not so concerned about, the texture of something, as now we are more concerned about the full implication of our entire vision, or the full implication of every choice that we've made for a while now. And how it all comes together. We're not any more focused about maybe that individual house to move into, or that individual relationship. We're looking at the entire neighborhood, or the entire city, or the entire state, and understanding what the cumulative dynamic is, more so than we are focusing on the house that we live in, or the car that we drive, or the business that we own. It's not so, the individual focus is washed out. And now we think, so if we're a business owner, we think, okay, it's not about this individual business anymore. It's about my business among many other businesses and what dynamic this is creating. I'm seeing a lot of entrepreneurs now wanting to have multiple businesses, wanting to combine them and create some type of, combinative effort. The universal focus is really waxing right now and creating something. What do I want to say? Creating something total. Okay, Neptune is in Pisces. It's very advanced in Pisces. We've had a Sun, Venus, Neptune conjunction in Pisces, and we're building up to that. Okay, we're building up to an incredible Pisces stellium. So the good things about that is that we can have a lot of psychic healing, a lot of emotional healing, a lot of acceptance of emotional dynamics in our lives, and then the ability to karmically move or karmically walk out or walk in to the dynamics that we do or don't want. That's the positive. We have a lot of control there. The negative is that we can also get really stuck in a maze, per se, a maze of dynamics, a maze of conglomerations, a maze of multifactorial layered entities or multifactorial puzzles that we sort of desperately try to assemble into a cohesive unit under a monolith or under a brand or under something unreal. Okay, so the desire to pull many things together under something unreal can be really big with this. So what I'm really getting into here is like a groupthink and religions and things like that start to come up, and connecting networks, social networks, social media, all of that stuff is a good example of that, of many people, many entities coming together under one monolith, So I'm just kind of talking around where a lot of our mindset comes from. And the reason that we have this in humanity, and it's such a big part of our lives right now, is because this is a very human thing to want to create teamwork and to create cohesion underneath a cause or underneath something like that. And I think we all have a lot to think about our own monolith or our own selves or our own identity in relationship to the other monoliths in the world right now, and how are we moving forward with that? Because once we hit the astrological new year around March 20th, which I'm going to make a full YouTube video about, it's going to suddenly become really grounded, embodied, and self-oriented again, very young, very youthful. And I think that's going to be a great breath of fresh air. But we need to kind of get a huge amount of emotional healing and emotional acceptance, and I also want to say material turnover, where we can visualize or truly comprehend with most of our senses that we are caring for ourselves, or that we are stepping up to the plate when it comes to our motivations, and being able to see that and being able to sense that physically is important to stepping into Aries season with energy, okay, with the actual ability to have the progress that we're wanting in our personal lives, as teams, as conglomerates. That feels like really important to understand really deeply that certain previous traumas, relationships, breaking points of the past, emotional trigger points of the past have dissipated, have healed, and are no longer taking up a majority space in our energetic dialogue or in our energetic fractal, so that we have a lot of space. I mean, I think the main thing that I'm getting to really simplify is how can we make more space right now for a more enjoyable life. Anything that you're losing sleep over, anything that kind of sits in the back of your mind that you can't act upon, especially if it's material, like having vacant houses. I've talked a lot about that. That's the psychic image that I've been having for a long time now, actually, is people who have houses that are vacant and run down, but that they don't, do anything with. That is the energy. And it's important to be able to face that to some degree now, or to allow it to be, or to somehow alleviate it from your mind. It's also the same with debt. I have that debt that I just need to pay, but it's not paid, and I think about it, but I don't pay it. I have that vacant house that I've inherited, and it's run down and it's in disrepair, and I don't do anything, but I think about it. I have, a really difficult breakup that I had all those years ago, and I don't do anything to pursue closure with it, but I think about it. This is what I'm trying to touch on, you guys. This is really important stuff here with this Pisces stellium coming up. The amount of energy, psychically, emotionally, physically even, that is constantly going out, almost as if a debt